Hello, beautiful people. How's it going? So, a while back, I got myself a little book with all of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales, and I thought to myself, why not talk about the 156 one of them and make it a series? So, I guess that makes this episode one. So the first fairy tale we have here is called the Tinderbox, and it starts with a soldier meeting a witch in the middle of a road who asks him to go inside a tree to retrieve a tinderbox. But to convince him, she also tells him that inside that tree there are three rooms, each guarded by a dog, some very weird looking dogs. And the weirder the dog looks, the more valuable the content of the chest is. And when I say weird, like, I mean weird. Like, those dogs, just to give you an idea, the most normal looking one has eyes the size of teacups. And the weirdest looking one, I don't know how, but his eyes are the size of the round tower of Copenhagen. Yeah. But anyway, he goes in, he empties every chest very easily, which makes me wonder why the dogs are there, because he just picks them up, puts them aside, and gets to business. He then gets a tinderbox, leaves the tree, and before giving the tinderbox back to the witch, he asks her very nicely why she wants the tinderbox, to which she refuses to answer, and so he chops her head off. Yeah, this still gets very dark, very fast. So after that, he goes to town and starts spending all the treasures he got, which gives him a good life and a bunch of friends, until he spends it all and has to change those fine rooms for a little garret, which none of his so-called friends go and visit. And this is where we kind of get a moral learning, like you can't buy real friends. But then, do you remember that tinderbox that the witch wanted, but she didn't tell the soldier why she wanted it? Yeah, so as it turns out, that tinderbox allows you to summon those three weird-looking dogs, which I don't know why anybody would want to do that. But anyway, it allows you to summon those dogs and have them go and get you whatever you want. So let's imagine that you were rich, but then one day you have no more money. So what you do, use that tinderbox and summon those dogs, ask them to go and get you more money, and you can go back to those fine rooms and hang out with those amazing friends who didn't care about you when you needed them the most. So, guess what the soldier did? Yeah, precisely that. Huh? Smart guy. And the story could end there, but there's actually more. So, we then find out that there's this princess who's prophesied to marry a soldier, a common soldier. And, you start wondering, like, where are we going to find a soldier? I mean, it's not like our main character is a soldier. Oh, wait. So, long story short, the soldier asks the dogs to go and get him the princess. The king finds out, sentences him to death by hanging. On the day that he's going to get hanged, he summons the dogs and asks them for their help. So, what do? They eat the king and queen. And then the other soldiers are so scared of the dogs, and for very good reason if you ask me, that they just crown the soldier right there and then. The soldier then marries the princess, who becomes queen, and according to the tale, she liked that well enough. Whatever that means. With this said, I actually liked the rhythm of this story because there's always something happening and it leaves you on the tip of your toes to find out what's going to happen next. But when I got to the end of it, I was left with this feeling of emptiness because it's a very shallow story. Like, it has no depth to it, very much like its hero. And I also had a very hard time rooting for this guy because he comes out as a bully. Like, he never does anything selfless, throughout the entire tale, and he has no problem in hurting others to get what he wants. And if that wasn't enough, those dogs, man, those dogs are terrifying. I mean, I've had nightmares with them and I haven't recovered from it. So, I mean, would I ask those dogs to go and fetch me this tale so I could read it? Hell no. Like, I don't want those things anywhere near me. And this tale isn't worth that. So, no thank you. I'm good. I mean, sure, it's a short tale. It won't take a long time to read, but there are more interesting things out there, so I wouldn't put it on the top of my priority list. However, I think I would put myself through being the presence of those monsters just to ask them to go and get your subscription. So if you want to avoid them, make sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know, what are your thoughts on this tale? I'd be very curious to know them. So leave them in the comments down below, and until next time, be very careful with what you do with that Tinderbox.